What is going on, Merlin Empire here, guys, to give you a video. Today's topic is going to be on A Quiet Place Part 2. You guys know what Quiet Place is. Come on, man. That movie, Quiet Place, has hit the pop culture. Pop culture phenomenon has been one of the staples of current thrillers, honestly. And this is John Krasinski. He directed it. You know, guys know him from The Office, man. He's The Office with his stunning good partner, and then the children they got who end up being who are good, talented actors on their own. I want to see them do more stuff. And after the certain events of the first one, having this kind of these kind of like alien looking creatures kind of invade essentially Earth in some sort of way. Like, you don't get the whole context, but you understand that they're our population is being, attacked. They're being attacked and all. We center on this group of family who's trying to survive and realizing that they can't see but they can hear. And it's all about that kind of thing. It's all about surviving, realizing that. And a lot of the movie's premise is really on how quiet you have to be, how that uses the audio mixing and all that to kind of make the thrilling experience, that more enjoyable and all that. And with part two, in a certain way, this follows up following with Emily Blunt leading the charge, with John Krasinski just directing the movie again and having the kids kind of take a forefront in this. And now this one kind of is now trying to get shelter. They're trying to live life as a continuation, realizing maybe to kind of, finish the whole father's, kind of quest and all that. They're kind of trying to see how, where did they need to go? Once you are in this process, how do you move on to survive, essentially? How do you move on to survive, essentially? And then they meet up with Cillian Murphy, who, good man, it's good seeing Cillian Murphy on something. He is a really good actor, underrated. He definitely, I think, would fall in the underrated category, and I want him to get more work, and I'm glad that he got work with this. So they stumble upon him, who I like that they have a lot of the first part, like the first few minutes, kind of catches you up of what went on. So now we get more context of how they like invaded, and then how we center back to the present time. I really enjoyed all of it. It's definitely set the tone. I think John amped up a bit of how good he is at directing with the suspense. Definitely the suspense and all. So we get with the family now, and they meet up with him, and I like how his character wasn't so on the nose to help. He had to be reluctant, but then he had a sort of redemption kind of thing. His character is that kind of arc, but I enjoyed it, especially because how good of an actor he is. The family, if you're well invested in the first movie, you're going to care in the second movie. So really, that really depends also how your viewing experience is. But right now, just lean on them. They were as good as they can be. They definitely have certain things in them that have to kind of have them have an adversity. Yeah, an adversity. I'll put it like that and all that. And Cillian Murphy definitely, when he has to take charge, it's a nice compliment piece. They make it on the nose that Krasinski was the Krasinski of Woodville, but Murphy really covers that. He covers kind of like a thing for the puzzle again to kind of go, and it's more, you would say, it's like the plot is like more contained, but also the locations is more to see. So it's a unique way of how I view part two. And what a lot of people say, I would agree. I would definitely agree that these are nice compliment pieces to say with one and the second and all that. And it's curious to know where does this movie go? That's what I find very interesting. That I'm like, I wanted to see it as a nitpick, but I can't see it as a nitpick. I'm just curious where the story can go. But what the plot of this whole thing had to advance, I liked it. The progression and all that was very beautiful and all. And I'm curious to see how this world can go if it needs to. Number one really was how it should have been. Number two was a nice compliment. And it really is that kind of thing. If you like the movies, you did. If you don't, you don't. Like, I liked them enough. I got the criticisms that there were certain decisions that why did they make in the first one. That a bit of that is here again, but I thought it was well more subdued. It was more covered. It wasn't as of a jarring situation and stuff like that. I just think, for me, I enjoy it because of, like I said, it's the spectacle of what the gimmick of the movie is, and I care very and like much for the family. I think there's enough. I think there's enough depth for these characters. It really just, it all depends. Good job also seeing Digimon Hansu. He's another one that stood out. Digimon Hansu and what his character brought quickly was a nice little thing. But with all these characters, especially, what Emily has to go through, what Killian's story has to go through, it's just all it's all fun and all. And I like the whole tension. I like how really just how the music and the cinematography complement one another. I like the music, how it was the score. I like how the cinematography and the filmmaking was. You get this. You get this. The way everything is, like, you understand there's a certain state. You understand there definitely is a certain state, and I really enjoy this movie. I thought it was really good. I really did enjoy it all. It feels good. It just feels good to see cinema again in a certain sort of way. Like I always say, guys, these are my thoughts and opinions. Let me know, guys, if you are still not a fan of this franchise, or if you love this movie. You like number one, but then number two was like the best one of both of them. All this, let me know. I just think I enjoy these characters enough that I keep enjoying the ride, see how it goes. With this one was a solid second chapter. The characters were fun and likable. They definitely were fun and likable. And yes, all this in the comments below. And as always, Roland Empire. Laugh, smile, repeat.